Hey guys, it's Zach. By the title of the video, you guys probably already know I'm gay. Um, I known for a while. Everyone's always like, dude, how'd you know? I've known for such a long time. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. Oh my god, I unlocked a combat knife. I'm playing Call of Duty right now, which everyone's like, wait, I thought you guys didn't play that game. We play this game beyond belief, okay? And how the Royal came out? Yes. Ugh. It's like, how do you not play Call of Duty? So, yeah, guys. Story time. I known I was gay for a really, really long time. I probably known since I was in, I think, 6th grade. Um, People was like, oh, you can't tell unless you've done this or you've done that. Honestly, you can tell really easily if a guy is or isn't. Um, what the hell is this? Tickets. Okay. You know, I respect people for who they are. I don't judge them because I don't want to be judged myself. Um, and that. So, yeah, my coming out. Well, yeah, I'm gay. So I knew I was gay in about 6th grade. Um, like going 6th grade into 7th grade, I knew I was gay. I was like, okay, cool, I am. No biggie. It didn't really bother me. So then I'm just like, all right, so what do I do? I'm not the typical guy who's out there. I kind of keep it to myself. Um, don't really do anything. I wasn't the all, oh, blah 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 hand gesture shit like that. I wasn't that guy, but at the same time, I was. What I mean is, yes, a lot of my friends knew. I just didn't want to say anything because I was super embarrassed. But I learned that the older I got, the easier it was for me to deal with the fact that, yes, this is who I am. And there's nothing I can say that will change who I am. You know, I could lie and say I'm not gay, but I would be lying to myself. And I don't think that's fair for me to have to lie to myself. So, yeah, I am who I am. I'm happy the way I am. The way my parents found out was unbelievably horrible. They found out in the worst possible way ever. My mom walked in and, yeah, put one and one together. I was destroyed. Because she's just like, I knew. I just didn't want to say anything. I'm just like, are you for real? So, you know, I was happy that she knew. Then I was like, all right, how am I going to tell my dad? So I go to Georgia that same summer. My boyfriend was really upset. And then my stepmom and sister were joking around saying, somebody's going to think you're gay because I was wearing skinny jeans and that I had dyed my hair black. I was wearing black t-shirts. I was kind of in the whole emo phase thing. And then I was like, well, why does it matter if somebody knows I'm gay? So what if I am? And then my son was like, wait, are you? I'm like, yeah. So we talked for about probably, I think it was like 2.5 hours till my dad got home. And then my sister's like, walks out, taps him on the shoulder. She's like, have fun. You'll enjoy this. And then my dad sits down and he's just like, what the hell is going on? So I'm like, Dad, you may want to sit down. And he's like, what did you do? I'm like, I didn't do anything bad. It's just something I need to talk to you about. And I just drop. I'm like, Dad, I'm gay. And he's just like, okay. What's wrong with that? I'm like, oh, we don't know if he'd be pissed off or not. He's like, why would I get pissed off? I'm like, I don't know. So, everything was, he was cool, laid back. I didn't feel bad at all after I said anything. He was just, like, okay, so what? You're still my son. You think that's going to change anything? You really think I would be that rude to say, okay, I don't want you as a son anymore? I was like, well, I really didn't know what to expect. So, I mean, we go at this for probably about 5-10 minutes, and he's just like, all right, well, I'm going to have ice cream. Do you want some? I was like, sure. So, he took it actually a lot better than I expected. But we ended up pulling a prank on my sister saying that because she's like, hey, I haven't been able to get a hold of him. And his Facebook said he checked into the Moline airport. Is everything okay? So we made her think that my dad kicked me out of the family. And it was kind of funny, but I felt really bad for it. And that's just kind of how it is. A few of my teachers knew. And then after I was like, yeah, okay, I am. They're like, that explains so much about you. I'm like, the fuck does that mean? How does being gay explain so much about a person? I mean, sure, yeah, I used to have purple hair. I used to have a rainbow mohawk. I used to do this, used to do that. Guys, keep it down. And then my friend's like, so what do you want? Because my 20th birthday is coming up. So I was like, I want, one, I want cotton candy perfume because it's fucking awesome. Two, I want to dye my hair freaking pink. Bright pink because somebody suggested and I was like, oh, that actually looked really cool on me. Third of all, I want a second PS4 controller. And then I want somebody to help pay off my fucking Jeep. That ain't gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, that's all there. So, yeah. Anyways, my best friend, she outed me to the school on accident. I mean, it was a legit on accident. Because I was walking with her to gym, and somebody's like, oh, why don't you just hold your girlfriend's hand? And I was like, she's not my girlfriend. And then she turns around and says, besides, he has a boyfriend. Get your shit right. And after that, I went and sat down in my class, and then someone was like, dude, I just got a text, a tweet, a Snapchat, and something else. I was like, oh, great. And they're like, yeah, is it true that you're gay? I'm like, yes. I didn't want. I mean, of course, it was senior year. I mean, I could understand if it was like my freshman year, but it was my senior year. The only gay kid that came out before me had graduated like my freshman year, so I was kind of like, I don't want to say anything because then everyone will think, oh, I'm just trying to copy for him for attention and that. But, I was just like, oh, great. So, an 18-year-old about to turn 19 gets outed by one of his best friends. And I'm just sitting there, standing, and I'm just like, how did I even let this happen? How did I let this happen? I mean, I'm freaking out. I'm not for sure what I'm supposed to do. And I'm getting asked by... And then my teachers are like, hey, if you need to talk to someone, you can. So I'm like, whatever. And then one or two people came up and said, hey, I think so-and-so might be gay or so-and-so might be gay, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that's up for them. I'm not getting dragged into this drama. All the peppy kids actually wanted to hang out with me. Like, we need a GBF to raise our social status. I'm like, what does that mean for me? You'll still be a nobody, but it'll make us look better. I'm like, no, okay? I'm not a slut. I'm not a bitch like you guys. I'm not gonna do that. So, I mean, that goes on, and of course I graduate early, so that goes on to December 18th. And 2 days before I graduate, somebody's dad came in and said, hey, if so-and-so is here after Christmas break, and of course nobody knew I graduated early until the day of. And so the kid goes home and tells his dad, Dad, there's a gay guy at our school. Everyone's okay with it, and it's against our religion. So the next day, I'm hanging out in the school office, eating some candy, talking, watching a YouTube video, talking about what I did over the weekend. and we hear a knock on the door. So somebody walks up, like, hey, can I speak to you real quick? And of course he's like really calm. He's like blah blah blah, and then he looks at me. He's like, I want to kill you. So I'm like, shit. And of course my principal looks at me, and she just had the what the fuck did you do look. I mean, she's just like, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And he sits down and he's just like, all right, two things. One, I'm not pissed off. I just don't want my son to be exposed to the homosexual lifestyle. And right then and there, she's like, she gets the, like, her eyes just drop. I mean, she's just like, and I'm just over there like, excuse me, I'm not attracted to your son. He's a fucking jock. He's rude. He's disrespectful. And he told one of my best friends to go fucking kill herself. Hell no, I don't like your kid. So he's just like, I don't want that boy to come into the school anymore. I'll press charges. It is disrespectful to make my son, a Christian, put up with that. Think of all the Christians that are in this building that have to put up with his sins. And then I looked at him and I was like, well, sir, you'll be glad to know today's my last day because I graduate early today. And he's like, oh, you got your GED? No. You're dropping out? No. Then what? I'm like, I went to alternative school. That's why I was at school every other day. That's why your kid only said shit every other day, because that's when he saw me. It's like, how do you know? I'm like, I created a fake Facebook page just to get caught up on this shit and put it as another student, and just said I had to create a secondary one because my parents were watching it. And it was, of course, there's a kid that didn't go there anymore, so I kind of got away with it. They're like, oh, okay. And that's so I was able to watch all this shit spiral out of control, but I really didn't do anything because it's just like, I was going to school every other day. It was either 2 days a week or 3 days a week I had school. And of course I was working like no tomorrow at Pizza Ranch, which is a wonderful place. So we're sitting there and I tell the guy, I was like, dude, I graduate early. Yes, I have to come back and walk across the stage. Yeah, I'm going to stop in every now and then, say hi to them. I mean, they're my friends. I'm not just going to drop off the face of the earth. And he's like, well, the sooner you get off here, the better. And then he looks at Miss Young, my principal, and said, I will not be pressing lawsuits because he is graduating early. And she just looks at me. The guy leaves, and she's just like, did he just say lawsuits? I'm like, yeah, he was going to sue us because I'm openly gay in high school. She's like, yeah, that one applied. So that was pretty much my whole coming out thing. It was really horrible. I didn't like it. Somebody just joined my party. I'll have to switch out of a mic and that. So anyways, that was all that. Anyway, so that's my coming out story in that. If you guys want to, hear more crazy, wacky stories, I mean, I had a time me and my friend got stopped by the police for being accused of pulling a knife on somebody. Stories of getting pulled over on our way down to the Quad Cities to go help a friend out. All this shit. I mean, I have a lot of stories that if you guys want to hear about. And that. So anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll see you later.